Honestly, I just heard the three gentlemen on my right here, so let's try that one more time. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, first things first, honestly, I just want to share with you that I'm really humbled and excited to be before you today. But just before I get started about myself, Mr. Ziaur has used some phenomenal words about me which are not true at all, okay? And I think you're going to come to that educated conclusion once I'm finished my testimonial here. But bearing in mind, I mean, I just want to really recognize, I mean, I've given presentations. In fact, 2 days ago, I was in France, the south of France, and I addressed a group as large as more than 1,000 people, and I've actually given training to groups as large as 15,000 plus people in 2 arenas around the world, and I've literally spoken to many groups worldwide. But what I really believe up until now, I really believe that addressing a smaller group is much more difficult than speaking to a larger group. And the reason why I've come to that conclusion is when you're speaking to a larger group, they tend to camouflage things so you don't get externally distracted. But one thing I can tell you is speaking to a smaller group is much more difficult, because I'll tell you why. Everyone's looking directly at you. But one thing I can just say is that I've heard this information over and over again, and how many people agree with me? Once you've seen a movie once, the second time you see it, it's no longer as exciting as the first time. And I've heard this information that you're seeing today thousands of times during my time in ACN, but today, when I really heard it, I was excited, because I know the presenters that have delivered this presentation, they've been able to do this through the characteristics which they've exuded in this business, through the perseverance, through the personal development which they've actually attained during their time in ACN. So I think it's only fair that we recognize them. It's not easy being on this stage. So if we can recognize all these phenomenal presenters that presented this information, and let's give them a massive round of applause. The second person as well, Mr. Ziaur, used some phenomenal words, guys. So if we can also hand it back to him, I think So ladies and gents, I mean, I just want to introduce myself, but before I introduce myself, every single time I share my story, I always start with 2 statements, just so we clear the air amongst each other, because we don't know each other. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, and the 2 statements are, statement number 1 that I always make is, my dad does not own this company. Statement number 1. Statement number 2 is that I have not inherited this company. I literally came and took a look at this company the same way you are coming to take a look at this company. I don't know who invited you down here today, but the person that invited me down was someone that I employed. So prior to ACN, I was working as a full-time commercial manager for one of the largest corporations in the world, overseeing 19 places where they operated at the time. I was making a very good income, but I was told in my life, Ahmed, go to school, get a good education, get a good degree, say it with me, so you can get a good job working for someone else. Has someone told you that dream before?
Yes.
And someone told me this. So that's exactly what I did. I went to university, came out with a degree, and I realized I couldn't even get a job in the field that I studied for. Spent 4 years of my life studying at a university, couldn't even get a job in the field that I studied for. Because I'll tell you why. There are bars, there are restaurants, there are retail stores that are filled with people that are much more educated than you and I, yes or no?
True. Yeah. Very
true. And just do a test. Go to any shopping center today. Go to any counter. You will come to one conclusion. Ask the person that's behind the counter, do you have any formal type of qualification? Do you know what they're going to tell you? They're going to tell you absolutely yes. Because let me tell you something. 1 in every 2 people in the UK are currently educated or qualified. 52% of the people in the UK have some type of formal degree or qualification. And I was one of those people. Couldn't get a job in the field that I studied for, and I climbed up the corporate ladder because of my work ethic and not because of what I learned at school. So after some time, 8 years working in the same corporation, I employed the security guard. Now when you employ a security guard, how many people agree with me? You employ them and you tell them, protect us. That's why I employed him. And then he kept, and what happened was, after some time, he started, you know, trying to invite me to come and see a business. Now, I don't know about you, but once you employ someone, you tend to act a bit egotistical towards them, yes or no?
Yes.
Because why? You're an authoritative figure from their perspective, yes or no?
Yes.
So I was that type of individual. So when this gentleman's coming and telling me, Ahmed, come down and take a look, this will potentially change your life. Ahmed, come down and take a look, this will change your life. Ahmed, come down and take a look, it's going to change your life. I'm thinking at the back of my mind, change your life first. Then let's focus on my life. After 5.5 months, I agreed to come and see ACN. Now when I came and I sat in the same seats you are sitting in, I literally remember the first time I came, I sat around here, not to pinpoint anyone, but I came and sat right here. Never understood anything. Now I promise you, I don't know how much of this you understand. I don't know if it makes sense to you or not. I don't know if you're grasping this concept that we're trying to portray to you. But for me, in the beginning, it just sounded like a bunch of people in suits getting excited about gas and electricity. So I sat there, I'm really perplexed, I'm stumbled, I'm literally thinking, what are these individuals so excited about? And then the compensation plan came up. They started speaking about residual income. I started getting extremely excited about the opportunity that was put before me. Because let me tell you something. How many people agree with me that this type of excitement in the room, it's not normal? How many people agree with that statement?
Yes.
No matter where you go, this type of excitement is not normal. I started getting excited because today as people are walking down here, doesn't matter where they're from, as they are walking down the stage, what are they being? They're being round of applause. Congratulations. Amazing. You've done a phenomenal job. Come share your story with us. Being round of applauded as they come. I came from a world where I was only excited on the weekends. How many people know what I'm talking about? Right? Excited on a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday was the best day of the week, and it was the best day for most people, yes or no? Yes. How many people agree with me that breakfast on Friday tastes better? Right? How many people agree with me that traffic is smoother on Friday? Even though it's the longest traffic, get in front of me is Friday. Let's stay here all night. Because why? We are living in Saturday. And Saturday, why? Because there's no alarm clock, no drama, no boss on Saturday, yes or no? And what happens on Sunday? Everyone's depressed. 10 o'clock news comes on, call anyone, they got a grey rain cloud over their head. And what happens on Monday? Monday does not stand a chance, because I'll tell you why. Because it's Monday. I mean, just take the tube on a Monday, I promise you everyone's miserable. How many people agree with me Monday, everyone's just literally hanging on the train, yes or no? Right? Because Monday, and you walk into the office on a Monday, and as soon as someone acts up in the office, what do you tell them? Hey, not today. Don't play up today. It's Monday. And that was my life before ACN. And I really came to a conclusion that life was too short to be only excited on the weekends. Got involved in ACN, didn't understand much, but I understood one thing. Whenever now, most of us, the problem, I mean, I'll tell you what the problem with our society is right now. I mean, I want you to think about your mentors, your tutors, your teachers, your parents, your neighbors, your spouse, your auntie, your uncles, your siblings. I want you to think about all these people, and I want you to ask yourself today, how many of them are wealthy? Probably not many, but they motivated us, they inspired us, they helped to assist in making us the humans we are today, yes or no? Yeah. But not many of them are wealthy, but this is why we think that being wealthy is complicated. But the way I saw this company was I already knew that when I take my car to a mechanic to diagnose a problem which has occurred in my vehicle, I know when I open the bonnet for the mechanic, it's very, very simple. He diagnoses the problem within 20 minutes, I'm on my way, yes or no? But for us, it seems complicated, yes or no? Now, the thing is that we think it's complicated because all our life, we've been taught how to make money by people who have not made money. Hence, the lecturer at university that was teaching me how to run a business never ran a business. I asked him, have you ever run a business? I've never run a business in my life. So how can you teach me how to run a business? So this is the society that we came from. And let me just share something with you. I came from a background where we didn't have many choices in life. And I honestly thank God that we didn't come from that type of background, because I'll tell you why. I know many people that start with a lot of choices. They become good at a few things, but they never become great at anything. And I understood if many people have done this before me, I can literally do the same thing. Guys, this business model, before you came in this room today, this business model has already worked for tens and tens of thousands of people worldwide. Just 2 days ago, I was with actually one of my multi-millionaire friends, which is out in France. His name is Dominique Cano-Flores. He's a senior vice president with ACN in France. The same system made him who he is. So I already knew. Did you know? Why would you get involved in this type of a business? Because let me just share something with you. I don't have much time, but let me just share something with you. Why would you do network marketing or multi-level marketing? Number one, today, before you walked in, there are 93 million people that are already involved with network marketing or direct selling?
Yes.
Did you know 1 in every 5 multi-millionaires on the planet today comes from network marketing?
Yes.
For the ladies in the room, did you know that 80% of females that make more than 100,000 a year comes from network marketing, direct selling? So why would you get involved in this type of a business? Number one, does not require a lot of inventory. You've seen many business owners come on the stage, and I'm going to tell you one thing. It requires a lot of inventory. Imagine a business that you can start from your own home. Today, I literally have no boss, work when I want to do, whenever I want to do, wherever I want to do. All I did was came in and I built a distribution. The same way we've built a network on Facebook. Let's think about Facebook for a second. Facebook within 5 years revenued more than 15.8 billion.
Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg made $15.4 billion in his first 5 years. Because why? More than 500 million people were using his network. Let's think about Facebook today. Facebook today, 1.4 billion users worldwide with more than 100 million logins a day. More than 200 countries around the world. Now, what's the difference between social networking and network marketing? Social networking, I start my social network. I introduced a few people, that introduced a few people, that introduced a few people. Eventually, over some time, my network grows, yes or no?
Yes.
Now, when you log into your Facebook, what do you see on the bottom? Someone that you have friends in common. And you actually look at them and say, man, I know this guy. Hey, I know her. But the thing is, the reason why they are being exposed to you through mutual friends is because they're in your network. But this is the difference between social networking and network marketing. Is there anyone in the room that uses a Facebook account by a show of hands? Just by a show. If you use any, so just raise your hand. It's cool. Okay, perfect. Now, did you know that you made Mark Zuckerberg a multi-billionaire through your network?
Yes.
You introduced to him your friends. You know who made him wealthy? You and I. There's no point looking at me like that. We made him a billionaire. Does that make sense? So when I understood that, he said, I literally could become wealthy through my network. I can build a distribution. I started my distribution on a part-time basis alongside with my 80-hour job.
Yes.
So if you're saying you don't have time, let me tell you something I didn't too. If you're saying you don't have the money, that's the reason why you should start. Because let me share something with you. If today you don't have money, you know what it's like? It's like waking up in the morning and right outside your house there's a pothole. You trip over the pothole day number 1. Now day number 2, imagine you wake up, you trip over the same pothole again. Day number 3, 4, 5, 6, trip over the same pothole again. Now that is what's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. How many people do you know today? They wake up, they go to work, they come back, then they sleep, then they repeat the same process over and over again. But they are not willing to change the circumstances they are in. Not because they don't want to. It's just because they don't know how else to do it. There was a business owner that joined my ACM business a few months back. He told me I was a business owner for 15 years. Not because I didn't, not because I didn't take opportunities. He said I just didn't know what else to do. So this is what I did. I came in, introduced a few friends to ACN, and just through that we started growing. Today, through this business model, there are more than 12,000 people in my business today through ACN. Now, what has this done for me financially? Today, I make residual income on tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of thousands of customers that pay their bill month after month, year after year. Within my first year in ACN, made multiple 6 figures of income. Now, I'm not here to impress you. I'm just here to impress upon you that if I can come in from a background that I did, come into ACN and have success, educated, I was told to go to school, did what I had to do, come into ACN and have success, I promise you, there's not a person in the room that cannot do the same thing. But let me just leave you with one question that someone once told me. They said to me, Ahmed, look at your life 5 years ago. Then I want you to look at your life right now. I was living in the same house, my bank account was still the same, hanging around with the same people, making the same type of income, complaining about the same things. They told me, Ahmed, look at your life today. Then they said to me, Ahmed, look at your life 5 years from now. If you don't change something today, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to trip over that same pothole that you've been tripping over the last 5-6 days, yes or no?
Yes.
And I understood ACN, honestly, I'm going to tell you what it's done for me. For me, it's not about the money. It really is not. for me, it was about freedom. It gave me back to me. Does that make sense? And today, what this company has done for me, it's allowed me to retire both my parents. Every single month, I am able to write them a paycheck doubling what they used to make before in the corporate world. They're stay-at-home parents. They don't need a job. They don't need to work for someone else. Does that make sense? I live a life today where I design my own schedule. Freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do. I live in an area today, I don't know if you guys know it, but there's a place called Canary Wharf in somewhere in East London, right? And I live, my postcode went from NW10 to E14, right? And I live in that area now, and my neighbors, many of them are professional football players. One of my neighbors, in fact, is one of the tall football players. What's his kid? Crouch. His name, Crouch? Crouch is actually one of my neighbors. He owns a property in my block. And I have neighbors of mine, one of them, she's actually a Crown Courts judge. Her name is Anita. Up until now, she's perplexed. She has no idea as to what I do. So she always asks me, Ahmed, what is it that you do? I said, Anita, why do you ask me? And she says, wait, hold on. No, because we have those things. I don't know what they're called, but my car, I put my car in, my car's on top of hers, and we have numbers. So as soon as I press the number, my car comes down. I really don't know what they're called, right? But I know how to get my car down, right? So her car's on top of mine, mine is under hers, and whenever she's going to work, she told me, Ahmed, listen, whenever I go to work, your car is here. I come back from work, your car is still here. And then she said to me, what is it that you do? And I said, and I said, what do you mean? She said, are you employed? I said, no. She said, do you have a job? I said, no. So she said, so you live here? I said, yes. You drive this? I said, yes. So she said, hold on. You live here, you drive this, but you don't have a job. But you're brown in skin, so you must be a supermodel. Don't be so judgmental, guys. I thought they don't judge you much, right? But honestly, guys, I just want to leave you with, if I can come into ASEAN and really, I just want to tell you something. You know, today you're seeing this in a very, very small environment. I mean, I don't even know what hotel we're in, but you're seeing in a very, very small environment in a hotel room. I want to tell you, 3 weeks ago, we had an international convention in Rotterdam where more than 15,000 people from all around the world came and saw ASEAN. Just to let you know, you're seeing this on a small scope here. I'm telling you, this company is huge, more than millions of customers. Despite having millions of customers, less than 1% market penetration. And you know what that told me? This is an opportunity, because I'll tell you why. Everyone that has made multiple billions, they all have one thing in common, most people. They are the pioneers in what they do. In 1886, the first car was produced. First car was made. 1886. Do you know what someone said? Someone looked at that first car and said, who would want to drive this thing? I have a horse. It goes 4 miles an hour. Takes so much petroleum. It takes so much space. Who would want to drive that thing? I have a horse. You know what someone said? Someone's vision was once, a day would come when everyone would need one of these. Yes. Look around today. Who made all the billions? People like Henry Ford. People like Honda. People like Bugatti, Maserati, Lamborghini, Bentley, and so on and so forth. Because why? They were the pioneers in what they done. And I'm telling you right now, imagine how many of your friends and family have no idea this even exists. Now, is there anyone in the room thinking, man, I wish I knew this earlier, yes or no, by raise of hand, right? I was exactly the same. But I understood if I came in and what I can do with this. So I'm promising you guys, if I can come in and do this, I'm speaking to the people that are looking for the opportunity in the obstacle, not the ones who are looking for the obstacle in the opportunity. If you want to do something different in your life, you can really do it with this company. But on that note, thank you so much, ladies and gents, and I'll see you all in training. God bless. Thank you.